And we're back, and we just finished watching 1991's What About Bob? Rated PG-13. The runtime on this film is 1 hour and 39 minutes. It is directed by the always fantastic Frank Oz, with writing credits to Alvin Sargent and Laura Zinskin, with a screenplay by Tom Schulman. The story follows Dr. Leo Marvin, played by
Richard Dreyfuss,
who is on the cusp of becoming this big deal psychoanalyst or psychotherapist after writing a big book called Baby Steps.
You could see he's kind of an arrogant guy.
For sure.
And he's on the cusp of, like you said, having even more to feed his already
inflated ego
of himself.
Enter Bob Wiley, magnificently played by Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Who kind of throws that all in the lake, I guess. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to go around the room and get impressions. Olive G, what did you think of the movie?
I thought Bob was insane at the beginning, but then I kind of felt bad for Bob.
Yeah, why did you feel bad?
Because he was being so mean to him.
Leo was being mean to Bob.
Leo was being so mean to him.
Who did you have a favorite character in this movie?
Bob.
You like Bob? Did you have a favorite scene in the movie?
This is an old movie, so don't be afraid to spoil this.
Yes, yes.
If you haven't seen this movie yet.
My favorite scene was when he was so compelled by him that he broke free from the rope.
Oh, okay. Towards the end, yes, that was a good scene. What about you, Gigi? What are your impressions of this film?
I hated it so bad.
Really? What did you hate about it? Tell me.
I didn't like any of the characters, but I hated Bob the most.
Why did you hate Bob so much?
He was stalking Dr. Marvin. He said he committed suicide so we could find out where he was. The family was terrible because they couldn't see that this guy was stalking him, and Dr. Marvin was just an arrogant fool.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I think with something like this, based in a comedy, you could sort of not take the stalking bit as seriously as you would say a normal movie.
Yeah. I think this one you have to suspend disbelief.
This one you have to suspend disbelief because Bob is. There are probably people as disturbed as Bob was, but not. This was played more for comedy's sake.
Yeah.
I like this film. I remember seeing it when I was much younger, probably when it first came out. I would say it holds up reasonably well too.
Yeah.
Towards,
the jokes
I would
still
say
hit.
maybe in the beginning it was a little bit slow, but as the film progressed and as Richard Dreyfuss's sanity was chipped away and chipped away and chipped away, and Richard Dreyfuss is weird for me because I've heard things about him in his personal life that make me think he's just a real jerk. But he does a good job in the roles that he plays, and seeing him get tormented
was a plus.
Because it's you hear all these things about how he's kind of arrogant, whatever, and then he's in this movie, and Bill Murray is just destroying his life, the life that he believes. Bill Murray really never does anything malicious towards Richard Dreyfuss. Everything Bill Murray does is almost out of adoration, and this is not the way it's supposed to be. Richard Dreyfuss is very particular. Everything needs to be in its place. Even when he does that interview with Good Morning America, she asks him a question, and he just reads this prepared speech that he gave in the mirror,
it had nothing to do with the question.
A robot, with no personality at all. He's so fixated on how this is the way it's supposed to be, and Bob is there now, and his plan has been thrown asunder, and he just doesn't know how to compensate or cope or improvise or anything. And it all leads to almost like a complete reversal as Bob gets better. Leo just becomes more and more unhinged.
And it's really well done. I mean, you know what? It's funny. You're absolutely right. I mean, this movie came out in 1991.
Yeah.
That's 30 years.
That's, oh, yeah.
30 years. This movie is 30 years old, and yet the writing on it is funny and sharp and family friendly. I mean, I didn't think there was anything objectionable.
Yeah, it was rated PG. I mean, there was a lot of like
there was cursing,
S words.
Yes,
but I mean that was about it. Yeah,
I mean there was mild cursing.
There's mild cursing.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything egregious.
There's no bloodshed or lewd talk or anything like that.
Yeah, people get hurt, but it's over the top humor.
Yeah. It's over the top humor. People's personalities are a little bit, well, in the case of Bob and Leo, I would say the rest of the family was pretty normal.
Right.
And maybe the people who ran the store. They were,
oh my God, they were
hilarious. But they were
they
kind
wanted
of
him to burn in hell.
That was amazing.
But I mean, overall, yeah, everybody did a great job performance-wise. The wife, I've only seen her. I mean, she's like a character actress who you've seen in things like Airplane and random TV appearances. She did a good job. She always plays like the sort of like
ditzy kind of,
almost ditzy. But in this one, she wasn't ditzy, but like she has like that voice that's like very I want to take care of you. You know, like that kind of voice and mannerisms. Yeah, overall it's just it's a fun little movie. Like I said, maybe nowadays it starts off a little bit slower than say a comedy would nowadays or any film does nowadays. But I think it's well worth it.
The payoff is worth it at the end.
Yeah, especially just watching Richard Dreyfuss
lose his
decay mentally as the film goes on.
I didn't see this in the theaters, but I think I did catch parts of it on Channel 11. I'm sure it got played on one of those stations. I've never seen it from start to finish in one sitting, so this was kind of my first time. Mm-hmm. Really impressed with it. Again, for a movie that's 30 years old, the writing on it was really sharp. The comedic time, and comedy is hard. Comedy, I think, is way harder than dramas because making people laugh, I think, takes a little bit more work.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I think for sure
absolutely.
It takes a little bit more work. And everybody in this is firing on all cylinders. You don't really think of Richard Dreyfuss in comedic roles. I feel like most of his resume is probably more dramatic stuff. But he does a really good job here. But again, I think it's because he had a really great script to work off of. All the supporting characters are brilliant. Really just well done from start to finish. Again, from where it starts to where it ends up, it's kind of a journey, and it's interesting. And then you have the little blurb at the end, which is kind of hilarity, on top of all the stuff that you previously seen in the film. It's not a long film, an hour and 39 minutes. So I think if you can find it, absolutely do yourself a favor. We busted out the old DVD of it to watch, so that was kind of interesting. It still holds up.
All right.
Yes. So let's wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it.
Actually, I didn't get numbers, right?
Oh, that's right. Numbers.
So we're gonna go around the table and get numbers. I'm gonna start with you this time. Go around the table.
I'd probably give this like a 6.5, a 7.
Okay.
It's good. I hope people don't take that as a low number. It's just like I said in the beginning. It's a little bit slow. It builds itself up, but it builds itself up to be satisfying. So yeah.
Any standout performances in your mind?
Richard Dreyfuss, more so even so than
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's doing a great job there too, playing this like strange character, but
Richard Dreyfuss's character definitely has the range.
His character goes from one side of the coin to the other. You just see this descent into
madness,
and it's an enjoyable descent. You want this guy to get knocked down a couple of pegs because he's just seems like, even when like he first meets Bob, he just like Bob sits in the chair and he just sits there, and he just looks at him.
Yeah.
Like, you should be talking to. I shouldn't have to tell you something.
Right. Yeah.
Or I shouldn't have to be even polite enough to say, okay. And he does the same thing when Bob first appears in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He just starts walking. He walks past Bob.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bob has to take it upon himself to like go chase after him.
Yeah. Well, the other funny scene in the when they first meet in the office is like, oh, let me see if I have something for you. Yeah. And he's got like a whole shelf of his stupid book there.
He's like an exciting new book has come out, you know, and
groundbreaking.
There's groundbreaking, and there's an entire shelf, and it's not like as though it matches the rest of the decor.
No.
It's these bright yellow
books.
And he's like, oh, here it is.
And yeah, he's pompous. And just the whole, like, even with the family, how he just wants to, I don't want to say manipulate, but control every aspect. And it has to be a certain way. And so when it goes kind of off script, like, he can't handle it, which is kind of interesting for someone who works in this profession.
Yeah. Like when he's teaching his son
to dive.
He's like very mechanical in the instruction. And he doesn't, like, for somebody who's supposed to be sensitive to people's feelings or understand people's feelings, he just doesn't get his son's fear.
No, not at all. It's almost like, I'm surprised he even has a wife and children. I mean, he's just so removed. He is all about ego.
Especially in this point in time when he's like on the cusp of, like I said, getting more notoriety to feed that ego.
Yeah. Gigi, what did you think? 1 to 10.
4.
A 4, less than average. Okay. Well, could anything have made this better?
No.
No. Okay, fair enough.
Just because you just didn't like any of the characters.
Yeah, it wasn't like the script was bad or anything, but the characters
For you were unlikable.
or the writing.
Okay.
That it was just, I hate the characters.
Fair enough. I feel
In
like
any movie they would have been bad.
Yeah, I feel like this is a hard one to get younger audiences into. I mean, it's a different. It's from a different time.
Like I said, it's a slower burn. It's PG. A lot of comedies that have come since then, they'll go a little bit more risque. You know, humor's a little bit bluer. Cursing, a lot of sex talk,
or adult situations. Yeah,
like
for sure.
This isn't Step Brothers, you know,
or Harold and Kumar.
It's not in that range.
Yeah.
It's a light comedy.
Yes, for sure. I don't think it's like laugh out loud, but it is humorous, and it's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I didn't think it was slow. I actually enjoyed the pacing. I think.
You still didn't take my number.
I'm getting to you.
We're building up to it because it's so important.
Yes. Olive G.
Well, could you go fast?
Olive
See,
G.
our pacing is too slow. For
There
this
you
younger
go.
audience.
Much like
go
what
ahead,
about
Olive. 1 to 10.
1 to 10, Olive.
7.
I like how you're like, hurry up. Okay, what's your number?
Dead Space.
I thought you would have it ready.
I know,
you
ready.
Just,
Ready.
like, quick on the draw. Come on.
I too will give this movie a 7. I think the script is solid. Direction, I mean, it's not going to win any awards. There's not any kind of interesting camera work, but it's a solid film, good supporting characters, really great main characters. I think I agree with you. I think here Richard Dreyfuss is definitely the shining light. His character definitely has to go through some things in order to come out on that other side. Bill Murray is always funny, so not much there to really talk about. And I think that the rest of the supporting cast just does a really nice job. But I think at the end of the day, the heart of this story is the script. And that's what, even after 30 years, is still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it from us. And we will bid you all a good night.
Good night.
Good night.